Hello everyone, in this video you will be meeting Anthony Santen. I met Anthony several years ago during a time in my life when I was doing a huge amount of soul searching. Having a background in psychology, and at the time I was completing my training to become a naturopathic doctor and homeopath, I was hugely intrigued about the role that the subconscious mind plays in our lives, the subconscious mind versus the conscious mind and how they interact. So during that time, I found myself facing challenges that seemed to keep repeating themselves, like the same themes kept coming up in my life. And during that time, somebody recommended that I read the book Many Lives, Many Masters by Brian Weiss. After I read that book, I became hugely intrigued about the world of hypnosis, and I really wanted to learn more and add it to the repertoire of services that I offer. So after my research, I did my training with Anthony several years ago to become a consulting hypnotist, and I've learned so much from him. It was exciting to record this video with him because I recorded it during the last year of my training, so during my internship, and I really appreciated his perspective on how to interact with patients, how to interact with clients to allow them to achieve their goals, and the role that us as healthcare practitioners or any source of support plays in that. So in this video, Anthony will be discussing more about what hypnosis is, what the common misconceptions are. He also talks about other things such as his approach to how he assists clients and how he brings his training in hypnosis into his training sessions, and kind of his approach to life. Lastly, Anthony will also be discussing a book that he authored, which is called The Path Within. And in this book, he discusses more about his approach to treatment and just kind of his approach to life. So please feel free to reach out to Anthony if you have any other questions for him, or if you'd like to know more about what he's discussing, and please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions as well. Otherwise, enjoy this video and thank you for watching.
Hypnotism is a phenomenon. It's something that's built into every person. So hypnosis or hypnotism is a state or a part of our everyday conscious. So it doesn't work in a certain way. We can understand it and use it, but we can't. It isn't. Hypnosis is not itself a technique. It's more something that you can access, that you already have inside of you. People think hypnosis is a technique that is a shortcut to all their ailments, or that it's some sort of magic that can control other people. Either way is not true. Hypnosis is something that is inside you, or you can access parts of yourself, and you're doing it all the time. So the misconception is that there's one person who causes something in another person, and that isn't true. A hypnotist, hypnotists don't call each other hypnotists, they call each other facilitator, because that's actually what that is. So we facilitate hypnosis in our clients. So it's shrouded in mystery, and many books are about hypnosis, about what hypnosis can do. And, there's this mystical element to it. And I think stage hypnotists and some mystics possibly abuse hypnosis to create a kind of some sort of trickery that is for the performance and not particularly for the person being hypnotized. It's for the audience, and that's causing a lot of misunderstandings about what hypnosis does and what it's capable of. People believe that hypnosis itself is a therapy, and it isn't. It's a conduit. It's a way to facilitate certain therapies or certain modalities. Hypnosis itself is just a phenomenon. And I think people believe incorrectly that hypnosis itself is a therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Hypnosis has given me insight in how the human mind encodes itself over time. So, in studying the human condition, if that's studyable, although that's what I actually wanted that I set out to do that. But I think I've come a long way. I still have many questions. Hypnosis facilitated that process. So being able to connect with people on a level that is beyond the superficial and beyond the traditional indoctrinated version. So an alternate angle gave me the ability to look at issues, mental health issues specifically, in a different way. So it has really assisted me in connecting with my clients better, understand where they're at when they're in a certain state, or when they're reacting or behaving in a certain way interpersonally. And has allowed me better insight in what's actually going on in them, because I'm able to read it from more than one angle. And I think hypnosis has facilitated my understanding of how people behave in certain circumstances, and as a result of deductions that their minds are making, things like that. I think humans are constantly attempting to fix what isn't fixable and what shouldn't be fixed, and it should just, we should collaborate with the universe, with nature itself, and not fix it. You know what I mean? I don't think we can. I don't think we need. I don't think we need to try. I think we're wasting a lot of energy trying to, I think if I were to attempt to repair my relationship with myself, I guess that's your question, right? If I attempted to repair my relationship to myself, I would be doing myself a disservice. I shouldn't be doing that. I should leave my relationship with myself to evolve the way it does, and be an active part of it. And we're not learning to fix nature. We're learning to collaborate with nature.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
I think the mind is the same. Some bearded guy with little round glasses, telling you what you are thinking and why you're thinking it and how it should be, I think is violence in essence. So, yeah. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar is incorrect. Usually a cigar is just a cigar. But if you put it in the hands of the learned, they're always looking for cigars not being cigars. But in most cases, a cigar is just a cigar. Not sometimes.
Meaning that things are just the way that they are because that's how they are.
Nature isn't wrong. Nature grows and evolves and develops at its own pace, in its own directions. Our interpretations of nature are more likely to harm us than just letting nature be right and just going with it. We don't even need to know everything about nature to be part of it. Everything other than humans doesn't know anything about nature. It just is part of nature. Why is it so important for us to, because we want to control it. I don't see people as broke. I don't fragilize them. So I don't assign them the victim or fragile state that I'm somehow entrusted to care for. I don't accept that transfer of responsibility. I place it firmly back with the client. Now, it may be at their level. They may only be able to handle certain amounts. But I don't extract it. I don't remove it from them. I don't say, like, you can't handle it. I actually start with, you can handle it at your level. And let's start working with that. So I see clients as an agent of their own life at different stages of growth. I think the biggest challenge is misunderstanding. I think that's the biggest challenge. Adding to that, the marketing. So how do you market misunderstanding? That's the whole thing. You have to educate. People have lots of fear due to their misunderstanding, or actually to myths and all that kind of stuff. So I think your biggest challenge always is going to be people not understanding what it is. I think the real answer to that question is don't be a hypnotist. Incorporate being a hypnotist in who you are as a practitioner. And then you're going to find much less resistance. And you're not fighting, what your parents believed, what your religion believed, what you were taught in some kid's story or song or whatever about, or some magic show or whatever. You're no longer up against that. It's just one of the tools in your toolbox. Don't come full on with, I've learned hypnosis, now I have a career. That's possible, but you're limiting yourself to interacting with people who don't have resistance to hypnosis. On a mission to help people. One at a time. Not as a mass thing. Okay, one at a time. Very much to individualize my support for another person's journey. And there are a lot of basic things that are very similar, and the trick part of that is always to find the individual part that doesn't work for the client. So that's what I'm involved in. To find a way to connect with the client where the pinching points for the client are. I feel very honored that I get to be very closely involved with people's lives, and that they allow me close enough that I can be useful to them.
Yep.
So that's what I'm up to. Mission is to, with what I've learned, to help clients uncover like the key element or that one threshold that they haven't dared pass and see what's on the other side, or the thread that's holding it together, or that needs to be replaced in order to hold it together, that kind of stuff. And it's the fundamentals are the same. Everybody's struggling with the fundamental, the world is this way and it should be different. And that, but it isn't. And how to then surrender to that. There's various techniques. Hypnosis is one of them. Be yourself. I'm sure you've heard that 1,000 times.
What does that mean? Like, how do you even do it?
You will know at the end what it meant. Learn to become yourself. And don't think that is a single thing that you're learning. As you're learning, you are changing. The learning itself causes you to change. So it's a moving target. Be okay with you never discovering a single version of yourself. You are in the process of becoming. So the big challenge is to be okay with who you are and not to listen to other people and institutions that say that you are not good enough the way you are, or you are not whole enough the way you are, and you should be different. And then starting to compare yourself to others who are in one way different than another is so not useful. So, becoming really good at being yourself, there's a market for that. There's a spot for you as yourself. There's not a spot for you as Jim Carrey. There already is a Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
You can't become him anymore. That's the thing. You can't be somebody else. And not being okay with being yourself, that's a story. That's not actually true. You are actually okay with being yourself. You are yourself on a daily basis, and you confirm yourself and your behaviors on a daily basis. You are actually okay with yourself. But not being okay with yourself is a story that you were taught to repeat to yourself like a mantra over and over and over. And that story is false. That story prevents you from truly discovering this growing, awesome phenomenon that is you in this world. So shed the story and do yourself and get really good at it. Get really good at who you are and amplify some things that you choose to amplify. But being you, I mean, that's the most awesome thing you can do. Okay, it's the only thing you can do. It is.
Everything else is just...
You can't do anything else. So that's it. Just be you and be really good at it. And becoming yourself becomes easier when you shed the shoulds. And then, you're not going to somehow become untethered. You're always tethered by your own understanding of consequence. And it's self-limiting. It's automatically self-limiting.
I feel like this whole idea of trying to align with the shoulds and following the stories is like such a common reason for so many different illnesses or just like stresses, because trying to chase these things and just being at dissonance with self. So
Yeah. And or the universe. Where's the difference? At what point do you separate from the universe? Or your world, or